Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Podcasters Roundtable, your one-stop shop for everything relating to pop culture, where we unapologetically spill all the tea that you can handle. I'm Leroy Jones.
And I'm Elena Lopez. And today, oh boy, we are blasting off into some serious space drama because we're talking about a show that... Well, Ryan, why don't you set the stage?
Absolutely. I'm Ryan Stark, and we're diving into Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda. It ran from 2000 to 2005, with 5 seasons, and folks, this was literally built from Roddenberry's leftover notes. It's like his last gift to the world, right up there with Earth, Final Conflict. If you're a sci-fi fan and you haven't seen this, you're missing a chaotic, morally complex, and action-packed ride through a galaxy that's basically exploded, in style.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I love Dylan Hunt. Kevin Sorbo's Dylan Hunt is just chef's kiss. He's heroic, broody, sexy in that I saved the galaxy, and you don't even know it kind of way. He's the perfect conflicted space hero we didn't know we all needed.
Girl, calm down. He's fine, I guess, but can we not act like he's the only thing worth watching? Has no one bothered to mention Tia Anasazi? That Nietzschean warrior? He's iconic. Dangerous. And let's be real, those moral grey areas he lives in make him way more interesting than Dylan brooding on a spaceship.
Okay, fair enough. But before we rank everyone, let's remind listeners what Andromeda is all about. Dylan Hunt wakes up from centuries in stasis to a universe that has fallen apart. Systems Commonwealth? Gone. Civilizations? Collapsed. Everyone's basically doing what they want. And Dylan, with his ragtag crew, decides he's going to rebuild civilization from the ashes.
And let's not forget about the rest of the crew. We've got Becca Valentine, Trans-Gemini, Tyr, Andromeda itself as a sentient ship, like, the crew is the dream team of chaos. You can't have a Starfleet-like adventure here, not even close.
Exactly. And that's what makes it Roddenberry in essence. His philosophical DNA, his hope for humanity, but dialed up with real danger and morally ambiguous characters. That's why I say it's his final gift. He didn't get to make another Star Trek, nor was he able to continue with Star Trek Phase 2, but he left us Andromeda, and Earth, Final Conflict, which also has its merits, but Andromeda is raw, passionate, and brimming with action.
Oh, and don't even get me started on Trans-Gemini. She's mysterious, unpredictable, sparkly, and somehow, completely the heart of the crew. I swear she's the reason some episodes even work. Her weirdness and wisdom are what truly made Andromeda unique.
Sure, she's cute, but sometimes her mystery powers make my eye twitch, and not in a good way. Also, Becca Valentine is the one who actually grounds the show. Street smart, sassy, mercenary, she's the glue that held the show together.
Alright, let's do this. My ranking, top to bottom, Dylan Hunt, because obviously he's the captain and charisma magnet, Tyr Anasazi, because brooding antiheroes are timeless, Becca Valentine for street smarts and sass, Trans-Gemini for chaos magic, Andromeda the ship for sass and literal personality.
I agree mostly, but I would flip Dylan and Tyr sometimes depending on the episode. Trans is definitely top 3 in my book. Andromeda the ship is low on the list for me. Not because she's bad, but she's an AI. A little less human drama for me. And I'm also not a fan of Data from Star Trek. The Next Generation, but that's neither here nor there.
Guys, are we even thinking? Trans is nothing more than a plot device half the time, but I love her. Dylan is iconic. AS for Tyr? Oh yes, he's morally gray, strong, perfect. Becca? Of course, she's the street-smart queen. Andromeda the ship? She's basically my favorite character. She's snarky, judgmental, and that's exactly how I feel about most humans anyway. And I'm a toy.
Okay, you guys are way too harsh on Trans. I love chaos. I love sparkle. I love mystery. Andromeda herself is iconic, but Trans is the heart. Dylan is broody and fine, Tyr is dangerously hot, Becca is the sassy glue. Yeah, that's my ranking. Don't fight me.
While all of you are choosing your favorite characters as Princess Toy Nerd chooses which toy she's going to use in her YouTube videos, I just want to remind everyone that the real MVP is the ensemble. And yes, Dylan's brooding is fine, but if we're simping correctly, Tia and Becca take the crown. As for Trance, she may be cute, but sometimes she's just confusing. And I don't do confusing.
Alright guys, enough of that. The audience is starting to get bored, so we're going to cut to a commercial break and be right back with more about Andromeda after these messages.
This episode of the Podcasters Roundtable is brought to you by Stasis Pods, the ultimate sleep system inspired by the technology in Andromeda. Sleep for centuries, wake up ready to rebuild civilization, or, just catch up on TikTok. It's available in Dylan Hunt Standard and Anasazi Intense modes. Warning: product usage may cause excessive brooding, use at your own risk.
And now, I have a serious question for you all. Name one of your favorite episodes and moments while watching Andromeda.
My favorite episode is the episode where they infiltrate a collapsed planet's warlord stronghold. Oh man, the tension, the moral decisions, the chaos. It's like Roddenberry was writing notes in his sleep, but with real grit.
Yes, and the captain/first officer chemistry between Dylan and Becca in that one. I can't. My heart literally cannot handle the unresolved romantic tension and witty banter.
Meanwhile, I love every time Tia says something ridiculously Nietzschean and the crew collectively ignores him. That's just pure comedic gold with a side order of existential dread delivered with a perfectly straight face.
And the ship moments. Lexa Doig as Andromeda? She's a queen. I love her sassiness, especially when she's judging Tyr or Dylan. It's like watching a female version of Data being sassy towards Captain Picard, full of dry wit and superior processing power.
Honestly, I enjoy watching the dynamic between all five, crew plus ship. That's what makes this show so memorable. There's heart, there's humor, and there's danger. It's everything you didn't know that you needed in a sci-fi TV show, and the later Star Trek shows could never fully match Andromeda's unique blend of action, mythology, and character chemistry.
Okay, we're cutting to another commercial break while you, the audience, comment the answer to this question. Did you watch Andromeda? And if you did, what is your favorite moment from the show?
This episode of the Podcasters Roundtable is brought to you by Nietzschean protein bars, powered by Anasazi's philosophy. Every bite makes you question your moral compass and might cause existential dread, but hey, at least it tastes like victory. It's the perfect snack for binge-watching Andromeda or just contemplating the inevitable collapse of the galaxy. So, grab these snacks at your local store and remember, what does not kill me, makes my stomach stronger.
Okay, everyone, we're going to engage in some more serious talk about the show, starting with this question: why does the show Andromeda matter today? My answer is this: Andromeda is still relevant today because it explores the messy process of rebuilding civilization after collapse, a theme that resonates deeply in our politically fractured world, showing hope and the struggle for unity.
Andromeda is a 2000s show, sure, but the themes? They're still relevant. We have post-collapse societies, morally gray decisions, AI with personality. It's basically predicting every modern sci-fi trend that we see today. And those trends include deep questions about what constitutes a civilization, the ethics of war, and the blurred line between human and machine sentience, making it timeless.
Exactly. It's Roddenberry's DNA in its purest, final form. It's about hope for humanity, contains philosophical questions and a crap ton of action, and it's unapologetically messy. Something that Star Trek could have been, but it was never given a chance to truly embrace because it was often too constrained by its own rules and the need for a neat, episodic resolution. Andromeda dared to be chaotic. It dared to be bold. and that's why it's still relevant today.
And it has style. The clothes, spaceships, dialogue, it's got the early 2000s aesthetics that somehow hold up. Yet some of the other sci-fi shows released around the same time as Andromeda don't have most of that, and the less we talk about Star Trek, Enterprise, the better. That show felt like a bland corporate mandate compared to the genuine grit of Andromeda.
And let not forget about the drama. The crew conflicts are real. Unlike sterile Star Trek episodes, people yell, fight, and still manage to save the galaxy. That's quality storytelling. And quality storytelling is sorely lacking nowadays in modern, overproduced sci-fi shows that prioritize slick CGI over genuine, messy, human, or alien, emotional conflict and character development.
Well, we're cutting off to another commercial break, but I'm leaving it to you to answer the question. Why, in your opinion, does Andromeda still hold up after 25 years? We'll share our final thoughts and deep dive into what its legacy means for the current state of science fiction when we return.
This episode of the Podcasters Roundtable is sponsored by Andromeda Galaxy Glow Lamps. Light up your room with the chaos and majesty of a post-collapse galaxy. Warning: prolonged usage may cause excessive quoting of trance Gemini. It's perfect for simulating space battles or just staring at the void of your own moral decisions. Buy yours today and embrace the Nietzschean void.
And now, we come to the end of this podcast episode. But I have one more question for everyone here. What are your final thoughts on Andromeda and your ranking of the characters?
Here's my final verdict for Andromeda. Dylan Hunt, Tyr, Becca, Trance, and Andromeda are my favorite characters, in that order. We've got an iconic cast, and an iconic ship. This show is Roddenberry's last gift. End of story. It's a flawed masterpiece that asks profound philosophical questions about governance and humanity's resilience, earning its place as a cornerstone of early 2000 sci-fi.
Here's my take. Trance is heart. Dylan is broody perfection. Tyr is dangerously moral. Becca is sassy glue. Andromeda is a snarky queen. I love it. But I also wish that the show could have explored more of the new Commonwealth's actual rebuilding process and spent less time on confusing, isolated, episodic side quests in the later seasons. That central premise had so much untapped potential, and I'm not happy that the show ended on a sour note.
Well, let's just say that the ensemble cast ultimately saves the galaxy. Everyone else can argue later. And you can take it to the bank, because the dynamic between Dylan's duty, Tyr's pragmatism, and Trance's mysterious foresight is the truly compelling core that makes the original Andromeda a sci-fi classic worth revisiting.
It's a messy, beautiful philosophical ride, and honestly, it still holds up 25 years later. This show is still so underrated, and I'm genuinely surprised that more people don't rediscover Andromeda now, especially given the current appetite for post-apocalyptic, character-driven science fiction that features complex AI and morally gray heroes.
Agreed. Andromeda may not have Star Trek's name recognition, but it's Roddenberry's love letter to chaos, humanity, and hope. And fans, it's time we start treating it that way. It deserves to be celebrated for its unique vision, its fantastic ensemble of flawed heroes, and its ambitious, if sometimes uneven, exploration of rebuilding a fallen galactic civilization. That's it for this week's episode of the Podcasters Roundtable. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check out our other podcasts, and as always,
keep watching, keep debating, and keep your spacesuits tight.
This has been the Podcasters Roundtable. Your hosts tonight were Leroy Jones and Elena Lopez from the Leroy and Elena Show, Ryan Stark from Real Reviews with Ryan Stark, and Christina Marsdale and Susie Speckles from Fandom Fundays. The Podcasters Roundtable is a Princess Toy Nerd Studios production. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and join us next time for another round of fun, opinions, and unfiltered pop culture talk. This has been the Podcasters Roundtable, where podcasts collide and conversations come alive.